Welcome back to Redline News Network. My name's Jet Likings.
And I'm Vic Morano. Let us direct you into the automotive YouTube world.
In this week's episode, we have R32 Nismo Factory Program,
Supercars vs. JDM featuring DDE, Mondi, Stradman, and even Alex Choi.
we have LS Swap Teslas,
Squadra Corsa, SVJ, Aperta. Let's go. Kicking off automotive news this week, the SE20 was released Wednesday by Lamborghini. The car was created by the Squadra Corsa division based on the SVJ. It is a one-off, most likely won't see production but is road legal. Interesting that the DDE Aperta was completed just a week prior. Did Damon know this was coming?
It is kind of interesting, Vic. Now over to that R32 news. I'm sure you're aware, but Nissan actually started manufacturing R32 GTR parts again last year. Now, new news is they'll actually start taking back your R32 GTR back to the factory, and they'll bring it back to factory condition. Now, this includes rust removal, damage removal. They'll even analyze the chassis for you. Moving over to that RB26 power plant, they'll take it completely apart and replace every nut and bolt and torque everything to factory spec. However, Vic, that's going to cost you about $430 grand.
Oof.
Ouch.
On to Stradman. Buckle in because this is one of Strad's most exciting videos to date. He meets up with Dave Sparks and he breaks out his helicopter to race Stradman's GTR on a dry lake bed. Did I mention they also brought an epic jet? They do a bunch of runs. They get some awesome aerial footage. James does mention that he plans on doing a round 2 at a proper airport in his Bugatti Veyron. Cannot wait for more aviation-themed content. Tuesday's video, Stradman fills us in on a previous incident that happened to his Bugatti. In 2013, at the Firebird International Raceway, the previous owner actually crashed into a tire wall. It may look bad, but it turned out to only be cosmetic damage. It's pretty cool how James gives us backstories to all the cars he's owned and is transparent if they have salvage titles, which the Bugatti does not. Tanner Fox comes out to Utah to visit Stradman. They hop in the Aventador coupe and do a little spin class in the snow with the doors open, and yes, it filled the car with snow. And at the very end, he gets his Rift exhaust and the Bugatti picked up and is heading down to Royalty Exotics for install. Cannot wait to hear that thing scream.
Let's blast on over to Hoonigan. In this week's episode of Hoonicorn versus the World, they had Rob Dahm on. He is the rotary master who basically copied the Hoonicorn but put a 4-rotor in it and wrapped it around an RX-7 FD shell. Now, he loses body parts during this race. It is super eventful. But if you've missed this series, check it out. It's really cool and it's based off of challenges in the video game Forza.
Shifting over to Street Speed 717. Friday, Mike's accountant gives him a call and informs him that he might want to buy another car because he's going to have to pay a ton of money in taxes. He plans on making a video breaking down exactly how this works, diving deep into his financial, how much he makes on YouTube, and the whole tax thing. That being said, he ends up wire transferring $275,000 for a 2014 Aventador.
Super busy week for DDE. We had 2 car reveals and a brand reveal. Starting off with the brand reveal, they revealed JDM Space. Now this is another Damon spinoff similar to the YSOB brand. Basically they have logos, trademarks, they got the Instagram done, and you know what? They got some JDM guys triggered over this. Talk about bringing more attention to DDE. But what's next for the JDM Space? They got the R34 Skyline. Are they bringing an NSX? Because on their Instagram they sure are posting a lot about that silver R NSX. Now, 4 episodes from them this week. The first one is Damon giving Mia driving lessons in the R34. Super cringy. Please give her a Kia, a Hyundai, or Hyundai Civic to drive and not an R34 Skyline. But other than that, they talk about another special car coming to the channel. Most likely it's another JDM car. Again, we're saying it's at NSX. And then if you watch post credits, they say that it's done. $400,000 $8 850 horsepower. Are they talking about the Aperta? Because those sound right for those numbers. NSX, that's a lot of horsepower for the NSX. And for an R35 Skyline, it's too low of HPs. So I guess we'll see. 2 days later, we see the Aperta reveal. Pretty cool. They did it at SR Auto. Everybody who worked on it was in attendance. 2 days later than that, they go through their upgrades on the R34. They talk about the internet being triggered over, their new JDM brand and their car. Basically, they ask the crowd and they ask their audience, to vote on what they want to see next. And at the end of the episode, they end up doing some taillights and a new cluster, and then talk about a Z-Tune coming next. And then the final episode this week from DDE was them with the GTR wing. Pretty interesting. They had Savage Garage music playing during the intro and then around 10 minutes in that episode. But anyways, they reveal the mounted wing. The thing actually looks pretty factory, even though it's really not even meant for the 720, but it's way too close to the exhaust. I hope that thing does not catch on fire. But then they go and look at an Integra Type R, and it's kind of interesting. They just gave away an Integra Type R, and now they're looking at bringing another one to the channel.
Over to TJ Hunt, continuing his Vlogmas with daily videos. Kicking off his Redline week, Thursday we get a vlog style video and some house updates. Saturday, TJ sells his Aventador to Alex from Sheepy Race, and yes, he does plan on twin turboing it. Sunday, he plays some hockey with Sabrina, and on Monday, we get an update on the Street Hunter C8 body kit. The fenders and front lip are on and painted. It looks awesome. It almost looks like it could come from the factory like that. Tuesday's video, some Mark V Super shenanigans, and on Wednesday, he picks up his C8 Corvette from the dealership. He has some issues. The car keeps going into limp mode. He has no idea what's going on since he's turboed it, but he does plan on reaching out to Emelia Hartford, so hopefully she can lend a hand since she's had better luck with her twin turbo setup.
Emelia Hartford's back at it this week with the most advanced supercar garage. She goes and tours Matt Farah's garage, which is his business. It's a storage business. It's West Side Collector Car Storage. This thing looks like a cathedral. I mean, there's huge multi-stack lifts on top of a 40-car garage that sits in the basement. It's only about $600 a month to keep a car here. And one of the coolest cars that I saw in this video was a Volkswagen Harlequin that was up on one of the racks.
Donut Media with 4 videos this week, 7 futuristic tires that already exist, Mitsubishi doesn't care what you think, how to survive a car crash, and turbo your car, choosing the right turbo.
Now let's bring it back to the JDM world with Mondi. That's right, Mondi. Now Mondi buys an iconic JDM car and hates it. Basically, it seems like another YouTuber going to JDM. I mean, we had Stradman, we had DDE, now Mondi. I mean, who's next? We even saw Alex Choi in an R34 on Instagram the other day. Before we get into that, Mondi in the beginning of his video states he's going to have new episodes every Monday and Thursday. However, he did miss this Monday on the 14th of December. But he does buy a 97 Supra, does some pulls in the AMG GTR. Obviously, the GTR blows the thing away. But he explains why he got into the Supra. And basically, he grew up a JDM guy. He had an IS300, S2000, and he also just wants to get back at all the haters saying he does because he didn't like the R34 or the Rocket Bunny NSX. But it really seems like the supercar community is just starting this battle with the JDM community. I mean, Mondi even emphasized that a new Camry is faster than the Mark IV Supra or even an R34. The following episode, it's a short one, but it is an awesome one. It's him and the RWB versus the Canyons. I mean, it's a very cinematic, great transitional video. It's almost like an RWB production or a commercial. I mean, you got to check it out. It's only about 2 minutes.
Doug Demuro with only one car review this week, the 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E.
What's that? Sheepy Race. TT Aventadors and new buildings. If you forgot about it, TJ Hunt mentioned a couple weeks ago via Instagram, Sheepy, please TT my Aventador. Was this an Easter egg to this event? It probably was because Alex buys this Aventador about a month ago from TJ, but they're just announcing it right now. They also go and tour the new Sheepy Race location, which is a 34,000 100,000 square foot new location. This is actually an old go-kart track, an old pole position there. They're going to start building it in January, and they're going to finish about a month or two later. But then again, yes, they do buy the Aventador from TJ. The other option was a 720. Obviously, they wanted to keep it in the family, and then they released that they are going to twin turbo it. But then an Easter egg at the end was they are going to be building TJ something cool coming soon. What do you think it is?
4 videos from Tavarish this week. Found on Auto Tempest, top 10 cars you loved as a kid, renting a $100,000 AMG that was broken and filthy, so he fixed it, detailing an F350 that has never been washed, his 200,000 mile Supra is finished, and if you guys missed it, an Instagram post on the 15th, the 675 LT has started.
Rich Rebuilds wraps up the electric Mini Cooper this week. He goes in and recaps the entire build, and it seems like they're prepping this thing to use in the 24 hours of Lemons because they talk about better battery swapping and just being able to swap those batteries quickly in a 24-hour race like the Lemons race. But they do a test drive in it, and the thing is a torque monster. It's almost too instant on. And then they get screamed at by some random for getting rowdy, doing donuts and stuff in the thing. And then they reveal that they only spent $2,815 after selling some stuff like the original engine, the original harness, etc. And if you watch post credits at the very end, there's a nice Easter egg. It looks like an LS motor on a crate, and we see what looks like a Model S. Now, I can't wait to see if this is true because this is going to trigger the internet and trigger the Tesla fan crowd. 2 videos from Hoovie's Garage this week. The first one is the private jet for the road. And warning, this makes Escalades feel cheap. The second one was a Secret Santa. This is actually a pretty cool video. It's Hoovie giving away $165,000 worth of luxury cars to people like the Ninja, Wizard, and others. Dang, Vic, I think we just hit Redline.
You're right about that. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that SC20 and forecasting how this JDM versus Supercar war will turn out.
Well, you know how you won't miss a beat? Check into Redline News Network every Friday morning.
Like, comment, and smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram.
Until next time, keep it at Redline.